I'm Stephen and Frederick, and this is How I Cook. Welcome back to another episode. It's summertime, and you'll have to take desserts to a picnic or a barbecue. There's always lemon squares or cupcakes. I really like this. It's a creamsicle squares. You know the creamsicles we used to have as kids? The vanilla ice cream with the orange covering, how delicious they are. This is basically that in a square form. So, I'm going to start with an orange. And I'm going to get some orange zest. I'm using a rasp grater here. And you just want to get the orange part off. And I've already done some of it. And push it in there. Now, if you don't have a rasp grater, you can easily use a peeler, and you just go very lightly, only getting the orange. See? And then you take a knife and you cut it into little pieces. And there you get your zest. The rasp grater works really easily. And they're very cheap. They don't take up much room in a drawer, so I would get a rasp grater. So we're putting this aside. This is the last item that'll go on the squares. Now I have an orange here that I want the juice from. This is going to elevate the squares just a bit, so that it's a little brighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to juice the orange that I got the zest from. So now, 2 boxes of Jello, orange Jello. 3 ounces, this is not sugar-free. Could you use sugar-free? Sure. But it's summer, it's a dessert. Come on, just use the full sugar. And 1 cup of boiling water. I microwave this water, it's boiling. And whisk that until the Jello totally melts. That looks pretty good, and to add the brightness, the orange juice that we squeezed out. Now, we're going to put this aside so it becomes room temperature. So our next step is to put the crust of the squares into a pan. Here's some cooking spray. Here's a piece of parchment. I cut the parchment bigger than the pan because it's going to create a sling. And you can see I cut in the edges. We're going to press down the parchment. And then we're going to spray the parchment as well. Next, we need graham crackers that have been crushed. So what I did was I took 12 graham crackers, I put them in the bag, Ziploc bag, and then I took a rolling pin, crushed them, and then rolled them. So the crushed graham crackers go into a bowl. This is a very sweet dessert. Half cup of sugar go into the bowl. A stick of butter. That has been melted goes into the bowl. We mix it together so it looks like wet sand. This smells so good. There you have it. We then take the mixture and put it on the parchment. We take the measuring cup that we used for the sugar and press down. So that's pressed down pretty well. We're going to pop it in the refrigerator to chill a little while we do the rest. So a creamsicle is the vanilla ice cream covered by the orange. So now it's time to do the vanilla step. 8 ounces of cream cheese, room temperature. 1/2 cup confectioner's or powdered sugar. And 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. Next we use the hand mixer and we mix all this together. So I've incorporated the cream cheese, the vanilla, and the powdered sugar. Started that. Now, here's 1 cup of whipped topping. Cool Whip, whatever. Putting that. Now this needs to go for 3 minutes until it's silky smooth. We now have 1 more cup of whipped topping to put in. But then we're just going to incorporate this. We're not going to beat it as long. It'll add a little more body. So I incorporated that 2nd cup of whipped topping. I got the crust out of the refrigerator. And now we're going to pour the vanilla layer on the crust. So the vanilla layer has been added to the graham cracker crust, back in the refrigerator. So now the orange layer, 4 cups of whipped topping, the room temperature orange mixture, orange jello mixture. We're going to take about half of this, 2 cups, and incorporate it into the room temperature jello. The 2 cups of whipped topping have been incorporated into the jello mixture. I got this out of the refrigerator, graham cracker and vanilla layer. It goes into the refrigerator now until it sets up. Once it sets up, we'll put the additional 2 cups of whipped topping on and we'll be done. All right, see you in a couple hours. So it's been about an hour and a half. The orange layer has set up nicely. This is the remaining 2 cups of whipped topping. We're going to put this on top. And there we have it. We're going to pop it back in the fridge overnight. Tomorrow morning, we'll take it out of the pan and slice it into squares. So it's the next morning and everything's firmed up nicely. Doesn't it look beautiful? We still have our zest that we made yesterday. We're going to just sprinkle it on here a little to make it a little more fancy. The zest also will add a little tart against all the sweetness, but it is still going to be very sweet. So there we have it. Beautiful. Now we take our parchment this way and put it out on the cutting board. And let's cut a few. Listen to that. Look at that, how beautiful. The graham cracker, the vanilla, the orange, and the topping. It's a little early to try one of these because it's so sweet, but I hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, it's not the right way, it's not the way you should do it, it's how I cook. Thanks. See you next time.